Time may fade old film reels, but it can't erase the stars who raised us. Today, we're skipping the blockbusters to chase Hollywood's wildest plot twist legends who vanished on purpose. Wrinkles aren't the shock, their secret second lives are. Buckle up. Let's rewind. Your childhood just got flipped. In the late 1950s and early 1960s, Dolores Hart was pure Hollywood magic, lighting up movie screens and even starring opposite Elvis Presley in Loving You and King Creole. Her career was soaring when she stunned the world with a decision no studio executive saw coming. In 1963, at the peak of fame, she walked away from flashing cameras and packed theaters to enter a Benedictine abbey in Connecticut. Today, at 87, Dolores lives peacefully at the Abbey of Regina Laudis, devoted to faith, community, and a life far removed from applause, proving that the most unbelievable Hollywood exits aren't loud. They're brave. Mark Lester once ruled the world as the sweet-faced Oliver Twist, exploding into global fame with Oliver in 1968, and becoming one of Britain's biggest child stars almost overnight. Hollywood expected a lifetime of spotlight, but Mark had other plans. In 1977, he quietly exited acting, went back to school, and shocked fans all over again years later. During the 1980s, he reinvented himself as a trained osteopath, specializing in sports injuries and acupuncture. Now, 67, he works in England, healing bodies instead of chasing fame. Some former stars don't fall off the stage, they simply choose a smarter exit. Audiences fell in love with Debbie Turner as Marta Von Trapp in The Sound of Music in 1965, expecting a long Hollywood future filled with sequels and spotlights. Instead, Debbie pulled a surprise worthy of a movie twist. After a short acting run, she stepped away from fame and built a second life, far from cameras. She reinvented herself as a floral designer, running her own business and decorating major high-profile events. Now 69, Debbie is mostly retired, enjoying family, quiet days, and selective creative projects, proof that sometimes the happiest endings happen far away from the stage. Martin Stevens once gave audiences nightmares in Village of the Damned, then showed quiet grace in The Innocents, proving he could chill your spine and break your heart before most kids finish school. Hollywood expected a lifelong scream king. Martin chose something far more shocking. At 16, he walked away from acting, ditched the spotlight, and retrained as an architect. His disappearance wasn't a downfall, it was a decision. He chose adulthood off camera, blueprints over box office. Now 76, he's remembered as one of horror's earliest icons, the rare star who escaped fame before fame could trap him. Peter Ostrum will forever be Charlie Bucket, the wide-eyed kid who walked into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and straight into movie history. That single role made him world famous, and then came the real shock. After filming, Peter turned down a 3-movie deal and walked away from acting entirely. Not in anger, but by choice. He traded Hollywood dreams for veterinary school, earning his degree from Cornell in 1984. For decades, he cared for large animals across New York. Now 68, retired since late 2023, Peter lives quietly upstate, proving that sometimes the boldest Hollywood exit is choosing a life that actually feels sweet. Cast as Danny Torrance at just 6 years old, Danny Lloyd became a horror legend before he even understood what fame meant. One minute, he was riding a tricycle through movie history. The next Hollywood was knocking hard. Then came the twist. In 1982, Danny quietly retired after his final on-screen role and chose a life far from cameras. He grew up, earned his education, and became a college professor, protecting his privacy like a rare treasure. Now 53, he surprised fans with a brief cameo in Dr. Sleep. If this video taught you things you never knew about Hollywood, hit like and subscribe for more hidden stories. cast at 9 years old in Aliens. Carrie Henn was launched into sci-fi legend before she even reached middle school. Overnight fame came fast, loud, and totally unplanned, and that's where the real twist begins. The spotlight wasn't her dream. So, after one iconic film, she calmly walked away from acting. Carrie chose school, became a teacher, and kept fame safely at arm's length. Now 49, she meets fans only when she wants to, on her own terms. Choosing a normal life over non-stop attention might be the bravest move of all. Do you respect and admire her decision? In the 1990s, Bridget Fonda was Hollywood cool personified, bouncing from indie hits to mainstream smashes like Singles and Jackie Brown. Stardom looked locked in until she pulled a move no one saw coming. After 2002, Bridget stepped away from acting completely, choosing family life over fame, flashbulbs, and casting calls. No comeback tours, just a clean exit. Now, 62, she lives quietly in Los Angeles with her family, rarely seen and perfectly fine with that. In a town addicted to attention, Bridget Fonda's boldest role might be walking away and never looking back. In the 1980s, Phoebe Cates wasn't just famous, she was the face of teen stardom, stealing scenes in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and later charming audiences in Gremlins. Hollywood had her locked in as a forever star. Then came the curveball. After her last major film in 1994, Phoebe quietly stepped away from acting to focus on raising her family. No big farewell, no dramatic exit. Now 63, she lives on Manhattan's Upper East Side and runs her eclectic boutique, Blue Tree. In New York, in a city that worships fame, Phoebe chose independence and somehow made that look even cooler. Andrew Shue became a TV heartthrob as Billy Campbell on Melrose Place, helping define an era of glossy drama, betrayals, and primetime obsession. Fame was hot, steady, and easy to ride, but Andrew surprised everyone. He slowly stepped away from acting and aimed his energy somewhere totally different. In 2006, he co-founded the parenting site Cafe Mom, shifting focus to social impact, startups, and meaningful work beyond the screen. Now 58, Andrew lives in the United States, balancing business, philanthropy, and family life. If you're enjoying uncovering these unexpected Hollywood exits, drop a 1 in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Fans remember Peter Wingfield as Methos on Highlander, the series charming, mysterious, and basically immortal on screen. Hollywood figured he'd keep swinging swords forever. Plot twist. After years of acting, Peter quietly dialed it back and did something wildly unexpected. He went back to medicine. While most actors chased the next role, he chased medical boards, completing training and becoming a board-certified anesthesiologist. Acting became occasional. Medicine became real life. Now 63, working in Los Angeles, Peter keeps things low-key, proving that the biggest Hollywood transformation isn't makeup or special effects. It's trading applause for a hospital badge and actually loving it. Mitchell-Smith didn't just star in Weird Science, he was the 80s, playing Wyatt in a John Hughes classic that turned teenage wishful thinking into pop culture history. Hollywood saw a career roadmap. Mitchell saw a different exit ramp. After working into the early 1990s, he shut the trailer door, opened a stack of books, and went full academic mode. PhD earned, spotlight swapped for a syllabus. He now teaches English at California State University. In an industry obsessed with reinvention, Mitchell's boldest move wasn't a comeback. It was choosing a brainy third act and owning it. Shirley Temple wasn't just a movie star, she was America's sunshine during its darkest days, with curls, tap shoes, and an unstoppable smile. She lifted spirits from the 1930s onward and became the most famous child star in history. Then came the shocker. Shirley didn't cling to Hollywood forever. She walked away, grew up, and reinvented herself in public service, becoming a respected diplomat and serving as U.S. ambassador to Ghana and later Czechoslovakia. She passed away in 2014, but her legacy never faded. If you still feel warmth when you hear her name, leave a message of gratitude and let her live on with us. Cary Grant didn't just star in classic Hollywood films, he defined elegance, timing, and charm for an entire generation, with iconic comedies and unforgettable Hitchcock thrillers. He stayed on top longer than most stars ever dream. Then came the move no one expected. In 1966, while still wildly popular, Cary Grant retired for good after Walk. Don't Run, no decline. No forced exit, just a decision to stop while he was ahead. He shifted into business, lived quietly in California, and stayed out of the spotlight until his death in 1986 at 82. In a town that fears fading, Cary Grant proved the ultimate power move is knowing exactly when to walk away. What do you think was walking away at the top, the smartest move of his career? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Gene Hackman spent decades owning the screen, redefining tough, grounded realism in classics like The French Connection and Unforgiven. 2 Oscars later, Hollywood assumed he'd never slow down. Then he did the unthinkable. In 2004, Hackman walked away from acting for good, no farewell tour, no dramatic last role. He traded scripts for keyboards, turning his focus to writing historical novels and living quietly in Santa Fe. He passed away in February 2025 at 95, on his own terms. If you like this story, comment 1, didn't like it, comment 0. Shannen Doherty never blended into the background, she charged through it. From Beverly Hills, 90210, charmed, her sharp edge and fearless attitude made her impossible to ignore. Fame came fast, pressure came faster, and tabloids followed every step. But Shannen's real story wasn't gossip, it was grit. After years in the spotlight, her career became more selective as she faced a long, public battle with cancer. Refusing to soften or fake strength, she passed away in 2024 at 53. Bold, outspoken, and unapologetically herself, Shannen proved that real power isn't staying perfect, it's staying honest until the end. June Lockhart's Hollywood story breaks every rule. While most child stars burn out or disappear, June quietly did the impossible. She grew up, grew older, and never fell apart. Starting as a child actress, she later became America's most trusted screen mom in Lassie and Lost in Space. No scandals, no meltdowns, no dramatic exits. When the spotlight finally softened, she simply stepped back and lived. June passed away in 2025 at 100 years old. In a business obsessed with fame, her real shocker was knowing when fame no longer mattered. Margaret O'Brien didn't just act as a child, she owned classic Hollywood before most kids could spell fame. By the age of 7, she had already earned a Juvenile Academy Award and stolen hearts in films like Meet Me in St. Louis. Studios expected her to chase stardom forever. Instead, Margaret did something rare. As she grew older, she refused to cling to the child star image, stepped back from non-stop roles, and chose family, education, and a quieter life on her own terms. She returned only when she wanted to, not when Hollywood demanded it. Now 88, Margaret isn't remembered for burning out or vanishing, she's remembered for walking away gracefully, long before fame could decide her future. Jon Provost became America's favorite kid the moment he played Timmy Martin on Lassie, one of the most recognizable faces on television. Fame showed up early, lunchboxes followed, and Hollywood expected him to grow up right on camera. Jon had other ideas. At 14, he walked away, choosing real teenage years over scripted ones. After a few more roles, he left acting behind and built a full life beyond Hollywood, far from barking cues and studio lights. Now 75, Jon looks back without bitterness. embracing the memory on his own terms through his memoir, Timmy's in the Well. In a town that hates goodbyes, his quiet exit might be the most surprising move of all. Jay North was only 7 when Dennis the Menace turned him into a household name, selling smiles, slingshots, and sitcom chaos to millions of living rooms. Fame looked cute on screen but off camera. It grew heavy, fast. As the show ended, Jay didn't chase a sequel to childhood stardom. He chose distance, privacy, and a life far from punchlines. Hollywood expected the mischievous kid to stick around. Jay chose adulthood without an audience. Later, he became an advocate for child performers' safety, using his past to protect others. Jay passed away in April 2025 at 73. In an industry that rarely asks kids what they want, Jay North answered by walking away and never looking back. Do you respect the choices he made and the life he defended? Leave a comment with a yes or no if you'd like to read more similar stories, and don't forget to like this video. Tommy Kirk was once Disney gold. In the late 1950s, he starred in classics like Old Yeller and The Shaggy Dog, becoming the kind of clean-cut kid Hollywood loved to market forever. But childhood fame doesn't come with an instruction manual. As he grew older, the spotlight cooled. 2 roles shrank, and Tommy made a choice few expected. By the mid-1970s, he stepped away from acting entirely and rebuilt his life far from studio gates. No fairy tale comeback, no clinging to the past, just a quiet reset. Tommy later ran his own carpet cleaning business, trading scripts for real-world stability. He passed away in 2021 at 79, remembered not just as a Disney favorite, but as someone who chose life over legend. Kevin Corcoran grew up inside the Disney machine, becoming a familiar face in family classics like Old Yeller and earning instant recognition before most kids hit their teens. Hollywood expected him to age into another lifelong star. Kevin had other plans. At 15, he walked away from acting, refusing to grow up as a brand. Instead of chasing applause, he slipped behind the camera and built a solid career as a producer and assistant director, working on shows like Baywatch and Murder. She wrote, "Fame stayed behind the lens, exactly where he wanted it." Kevin passed away in 2015 at 66. In a town addicted to the spotlight, his quiet pivot might be the most unexpected exit of all. Claude Jarman Jr. stepped into Hollywood history at just 12, delivering a powerful, natural performance in The Yearling that earned him a Juvenile Academy Award and instant respect far beyond his age. Fame arrived early, but Claude never let it define his entire life. Rather than chasing stardom into adulthood, he chose a different path, serving in the U.S. Navy and later becoming a quiet but influential figure behind the scenes of film culture. He helped shape generations of cinema lovers through leadership roles, including guiding the San Francisco International Film Festival. Claude passed away in January 2025 at 90. Remembered not for excess or scandal, but for dignity, divine, and choice. I've been a devoted fan since childhood. What about you? Drop 23 in the comments if you admire him as much as I do. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. More surprising Hollywood stories are on the way, so stick around, subscribe, and let's keep uncovering them together. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.